the talk today. I think me and Liz will probably say we probably class ourselves as one of the lucky families in this situation. My grandpa went to Christmas Island and was part of Operation Grapple, saw 4 weapons whilst he was there, the last one being Grapple X. And I think anyone that left that island before Grapple Y is deemed to be one of the lucky people. So I think from our family's perspective, echoing what Anne said, it's the unknown, and I think, again, echoing what others have said, that research piece and understanding the potential impacts, having the ability to talk to medical professionals and understand where there might be something that needs to be done slightly differently for these families is really important. I think then in our family, it's really about what else can be done, and primarily because we're probably not impacted as significantly from the health side, but talking about things like recognition. I speak to my friends, family, people at work, and very few people understand the nuclear test, very few people talk about it. I did an A-level in history, and we did the Cold War, and we never talked about this, and it's an absolute travesty that every single student in the UK is not taught about this in our schools, and is not proud to talk about our nuclear veterans, and actually all of us in this room should be able to stand up and talk to people about that, and they should absolutely know it in the same way we know about World War I and World War II and other instances in history. So I think alongside the medical piece, the understanding and the education piece is absolutely significant. And then I think for everyone in this room, the recognition is the thing that is absolutely imperative now. As Alan said earlier, in the 17th year, there's never a better time to do it, and late is better than never. And echoing what Anne said earlier, I talk about this and I go from in waves of emotion and then complete fury in terms of the fact that I have to sit with my grandpa and he has to tell his story over and over and over again. He shouldn't have to do that. Rebecca has been fantastic, as was Charlie and the team. And when she stood up in Parliament and asked Boris Johnson to meet us, and she talked about the fact that we'd sat and I'd said, I want to go to Remembrance Sunday next year, and I want my grandpa stood there with a medal, and I want him and every single one of the comrades that he went to Christmas Island with recognised, because that is the right thing to do, and now is the right time to do it.
Yeah. She hands to the mic just as she gets all emotional. Thanks, Lauren. I think, this is very humbling, and thank you for sharing your experiences. For crying out loud, this is a no-brainer. Exposure to radiation has caused significant, serious, life-affecting illnesses, diseases, and it continues. Stop telling us it doesn't. Will somebody please do the investigation? Please will somebody have a duty of care that we can look at all the evidence and stop worrying and deal with what we've got to deal with in an appropriate way, and in a way that will support people who need it the most, or alleviate all of those fears and those sometimes irrational fears that we've got. This, enough is enough. There is a room full here of evidence. There is an archive full of evidence, and it's time now that we actually stopped denying it, put the effort into the right direction, and because there is not anybody who would not, you tell the story, everybody, as Laura said, you share this with your family and friends, and as soon as you say, my dad was exposed to radiation, then they take a sharp intake of breath and go, wow, there's not a person who doesn't realise that that is dangerous. The issue we've now got is that we are being criticised and demonised for asking questions. I have an older brother who didn't survive, never met him, Stephen, and we as a family have been demonised even for querying how he died. He could have died from any number of reasons, but why are we not allowed to ask? Why is nobody willing to answer these questions? And we need to now sort of challenge this, and It was really interesting what you said, Steve, about how this is growing. Brace yourselves, because exponentially now we've got people here who have the experience, who this is not ever going to go away, it's just going to get stronger and stronger. And brace yourselves, like I said, because this, we need answers. Mistakes were made, make them right. Give people recognition. Duty of care was not there, but please now, do not keep this going any longer, because there's too many people who know too much, who've got too much collective brain power and fight in them to keep this going, and enough is enough.